Okay, welcome back to my opinion. And just the light there a little bit. All right, this is my opinion about so far. I haven't watched it all continuously because it's really hard to watch or listen to. The January 6th hearings and my conclusions so far. My synopsis. It's so ridiculous. It's so biased. First of all, it's a committee of Democrats. Yeah, there's a few, Liz Cheney, whatever, blah, blah, blah. She's pretty much a Democrat. She'll pretty much lose her election. I think it's Wyoming this year. So she cut her own throat. Wyoming's big on Trump. But it's pretty much Democrats with their own opinions. It's like what I'm doing right now. Their own opinions. The evidence that they're portraying as evidence isn't really evidence. And in a courtroom, it would be mostly inadmissible. It's hearsay and it's opinion. Is Trump guilty of probably being wrong on the election being stolen from out under him? Based on the evidence that I've seen and the lack of evidence from Giuliani and all of them, yeah. I mean, at first I was kind of like, yeah, this election was definitely stolen. But, like I said before in another video, the evidence doesn't bear out. Well, the lack of evidence from Giuliani and the other, what's left of the Trump team that agreed, like Giuliani and that other lady lawyer, I forget her name. But they didn't push the evidence forward. So as far as I can tell, that doesn't exist. That's what they're saying. But they're not showing it. And a lot of that evidence that they said they had was actually shown to be wrong. Like the boxes under the tables turned out by Trump's own people, by his campaign people, as well as lawyers for the Trump team and hundreds of other investigators. It turned out to be legit stuff. Was there irregularities? Yeah, but not enough to overturn the election. So, and all elections have that. But is Trump guilty of causing a riot? And he may be a little guilty of unintentionally causing dumbass people, to do dumbass things. But this video right here could cause that. Am I responsible for dumbasses? If someone tells you to jump off a cliff, and if you'll do it, then you are a dumbass. Okay? Trump never told people to go and overthrow the government, to go and break in the Capitol and smash things and go get Mike Pence. He never said any of that. And if you believe that's what he said, then you're a dumbass. Okay? Because he didn't say that. He said, I'll march with you, which he didn't, and we'll fight like hell, stuff like that. This is stuff that all presidents say. Obama, all of them said stuff like this. We got to fight for gun control. Does that mean we're supposed to, go start hitting people? And what about the people like Maxine Waters who actually said, go get up in people's faces? She wasn't held responsible, nor was some others. That douchey looking Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. What's his name? shit, I can't think of his name now, but he's a Democrat. You hardly hear anything from anymore. But anyway, it might come to me. But he said things uh, about Kavanaugh and fighting like hell. Nobody accused them of trying to cause violence. That just shows another piece of evidence that they're out to get Trump. It's a witch hunt. It really is. They don't have any evidence. They don't have any proof of the January 6th, overthrowing of the government led by Trump, coordinated with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and the 3%. These were people who are going to show up to Trump rallies. That's who they are. I know some of these people. Not particularly the ones that were at the rally, but I know some 3%ers, And they keep calling Ontario, Enrique Tarrio, a white supremacist, the leader of the Proud Boys. He's not white. Stop calling a person who is pretty much black a white supremacist. You idiots. Do a little bit of homework. Damn. Another piece of evidence that these Democrats are morons and don't know what they're doing, and a witch hunt. Trump never said break in the White House. Now, did he wait a few minutes too long, maybe an hour or two too long to send a message out on Twitter or whatever to stop this? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he couldn't. Remember, he was in the limousine trying to overtake the presidential limo and go back to the riot. Another piece of evidence of bullshit. Okay? This woman that said that crap, a 70-some-year-old man reached up through the little window, if it was even open, overtook a Secret Service guy, probably, a driver, a well-trained driver, I'm sure, grabbed the wheel and choked this Secret Service guy, a 70-some-year-old man, who, by the way, said it never happened. Secret Service said it never happened. No witnesses. And the woman wasn't even there. She said, he said. Another piece of evidence of a witch hunt. Let's look at Trump's entire presidency. The whole Russian collusion thing. Now we know Biden's more colluded with the Russians and Chinese through his crackhead son Hunter than Trump ever was. Another piece of evidence for a witch hunt. It's ridiculous, people. Stop feeding into the Democrats and these liberals that are full of shit. Why would Trump want to overthrow the government and tell people to come to the Capitol through a tweet incriminating him and then abandon them when they got there? Remember, they came to a rally. He invited them to a rally. That's a constitutional right. Now, let's forget about the fact that we call these people who rioted on the Capitol rioters and insurrectionists, but BLM, who killed way more people. One person died at the Capitol. One person. And it was one of the people who were protesting or rioting. Let's call it rioting, because that's what it was. But let's also call the BLM stuff rioting, because dozens of people died during riots because of throwing Molotov cocktails into courthouses, because of murdering police officers, because of trashing department stores that had nothing to do, and also actually supported the BLM bullshit narrative, which was BS big time. The hearings are a joke. I mean, I have to turn it after a little while because it's just like, really? I mean, What a bunch of hypocrites and just making shit up as they go. It's ridiculous. I'm going to leave you with this. Here's my prediction. Nothing will happen to Trump. The hearing, the Democrats will come up with their findings and they'll say this and say that, and then nothing will happen. Remember, this is not actually a trial. Our money, the taxpayers, is being wasted on this because there's nothing they can do about it anyway. It's just a stupid hearing so that they can have their little formal hearing, make it look legit, and some people who want to believe Trump is guilty of trying to overthrow a government, our government, can have this little peace of mind that, oh, the Democrats did everything they did. No, they didn't. They put on a show for you dumbasses, and you fell for it. You fell for it. There's nothing, they can't do anything. He can't be found guilty. He can't go to jail. This is a hearing from our Congress, who has no power to do anything about it except make their opinion. Trump can run again. There's nothing that can be done. Nothing will happen except they'll have their little hearing and all you liberals will watch it and go, oh, yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I believed it all along. Of course you did, because you're dumb. You're one of the dumbasses that ran up into the Capitol in the heat of the moment. Quit being a hypocrite. Look back at your, Chuck Schumer. Yeah, he's the Burns Simpson guy, Mr. Burns. Chuck Schumer. He's the one that called for violence against Kavanaugh. And look what happened. Some dumbass actually did it. Is Chuck Schumer in jail? Like, share, and subscribe, or don't. That's my opinion. If you're believing in this January 6th bullshit, you are a dumbass.